All right, internet, how's it going? Goat here, and it's NGD, New Guitar Day today. So today, I'm doing an unboxing. Just had this massive box arrive, courtesy of Thomann, however you want to say it, Thomann, huge German company, German shop, supplying pretty much all of Europe with our musical equipment they require. So let's have a look what's in the box. It's a huge box. Right, first of all, actually, let's have a little nose and see what the packaging state is like, because although this has only come from Germany and I'm in Dover, okay, in Kent, which is about as close to the sea as you can get, they can still get smashed up. So let's see. A bit of a mark there, bit of a dent, more substantial dent here. Nothing too bad there. That's all right there. Ooh. Don't look too good, does it? But, you know, I can put my finger in that one. Nothing on that side. Let's have a look at the bottom. That's fine. All right, so a couple of dinks in it. Nothing too bad. All right, let's open it. Heavy duty staples, come out very easy. All right. All right, let's see. Right, well, clearly this has been opened, I think, this instrument, possibly. Oh no, it's been resealed. Right, it's got packaging. Nice to see it's not plastic. Try and save the environment and all that. Okay, there's the internal box. And the branding, obviously, you might have just seen gave it away, but let's have a look. All right. Little look at this. Already out of the box. Yeah, tape already. Don't know what that's all about. Looks like it's already been opened at some point and resealed. But there's no holes. You can see it's a Harley Benton. Yeah, so some of the tape's come off there. And it's been sliced. Yeah, this has definitely been opened, probably to check customs. So anyway, let's have a look at what's inside. Scissors. Okay. Only one bit of tape holding that side on. Two bits on this side. Not a lot. All right. Rid of that. Okay. Silica gel. Don't eat it. You will die. Allen key. Okay. Lucky band. Now, I'd seen that some of these Harley Bentons had come with some cool stickers, like in a case of emergency, save my guitars, but I didn't seem to be any with this. I'm very sad. Okay, this is it. Ooh. Little checked by that person. Don't know who that is. Service ist uns wichtig. Service is very important to us. Okay. Well, first glance. Okay, look at that. Harley Benton tagger on there. Let's take that off. Okay. There we go. Nearly. Okay, wow. These tuning buttons, first glance, are tiny. Look at my thumb. I mean, I've got fairly big hands, but still, that's tiny. Okay, I like the headstock. It's quite nice, isn't it? That logo's pretty cool. Truss rod cover. Truss rod cover. Yeah, all right, so let's have a closer look. Well, the action's a bit high. It's a bit high, but it's not too bad. Nothing that I'll show you. So that's the base side. Okay. So I say that's just a bit over 1 mil, 1 to 1.5 mil, I'd say. That base there. Treble side's lower, as you'd expect. It's more like it, that treble side. I've got the plastic on there, on the pickup, and on the pick guard. Look at the body. So it's more offset than an SG, as you can see. But actually, to look at, it's quite nice. And I'd seen some pictures online, and it looked like the pieces of mahogany they'd chosen, certainly on the one of the pictures, like one was densely grained and one was really plain, so it looked a bit naff. I mean, you know. But this, there's two pieces, you can see. There's the line there between them. Yeah. And, okay. I mean, this side is slightly more densely grained than this side, but still, it's pretty even. The grain is different in style, obviously, but it's quite even. And look at the back. I think this is just two pieces. I can't see. No, I can't see a join for a third piece. So I think this is a two-piece mahogany body, which is what you'd get on a Gibson. So it's pretty cool. Neck. Okay, the scarf joint here. Okay, you can see there. Add strength. There's a volute here. So a bit that protrudes out a bit. That's to help with headstock breakage, because it's common on an SG. So the weight-wise, it's not as light as I was expecting it to be. It's certainly not as heavy as my Epiphone. So I've got several Epiphones. This is not as heavy as those, but it's definitely heavier than my Gibson by a reasonable amount. Oh, okay, so I've just noticed something I don't like very much. Knobs. Okay, they turn nice, but I can feel that this one is not locked into the wood properly. It's not bolted down properly, because when it gets to the end of its travel, it can still move a little bit. And I can feel it pulling on the pot every time I move it. So that needs sorting out. How's the treble one? The tone one is fine. No problem on there. Yeah, no. Action is quite nice on these. These knobs are kind of odd, but they're all right. Okay, the bridge. I heard some comments online that the bridge is sharp, and if you're palm muting, it's going to scratch. Yeah, I mean, I don't have my hand on the bridge when I palm mute anyway. I mean, I have the fat part of my hand just off the bridge, just off the bridge, so I can't think it's going to be a problem. But here is the problem. Look at the bridge. Look how much that is leaning. Can you see the posts here? That this is anchored on these posts, and the posts are leaning from the pressure. The tension of the strings is pulling that whole bridge section towards the headstock. That's not good. So that needs to be sorted out. I'm going to replace the bridge on this anyway, and the pickup, but that is something that you know, it's not really ideal, put it that way. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you know, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving it like that, because the bridge will just get damaged eventually. The bridge is quite nice. It's a wraparound, but with adjustable saddles, so that's quite nice. It doesn't feel overly sharp to me, so it doesn't feel sharper than any other you know, Tunematic style bridge. feels the same. So I don't know what people are moaning about. Or maybe they just got a bum one or something. But this one feels okay, but that wonk is not good. Pickup seems to be miles from the strings. So I might need to get some shims or something to stick under there, because these are not spring-loaded, these P90s. Okay, they just screw into the body. Fretboard. Now the fretboard is Amaranth, which is another name for Purple Heart, which I use on basses quite a lot. People have sort of said, oh yeah, it's purpley along the edge of the fretboard. This looks brown to me. I mean, I can't really, this looks brown to me, but you know. Fretboard front is nice and dark. I heard some comments, or there were some comments on some videos about, because obviously some of these are dyed somewhat to make them look darker. This one is perfect. Really even dye job if they've dyed it. I saw another Harley Benton video where whatever the fretboard material was had a blonde streak in it, which kind of looked weird, but cool, whatever. Just sure it wouldn't have affected the playability. Frets is another place where Harley Benton have been known to fall down in the past, and that is the fret ends are not properly dressed. So you get sharp fret ends and scratchy frets. So if you were to bend, all right. So I can hear already these have got, they need polishing a bit, right? I'm not even going to play a note, but listen, you should hear the scraping sound. Can you hear that? Try a different one. Not too bad. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that like I can, but it's rough sounding. It's not smooth. So these frets could do with a polish. But they're all right. They certainly don't look scratchy. So they're certainly no worse than I've had on other guitars made in the Far East. Tuners, or nut. Let's look at the nut. The nut's supposed to be graphite. It's quite well seated. Well, let's do the fret ends. Fret ends are, yeah. Around there's a bit of protrusion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm being really nitpicky. They're all right. You would never notice. You don't play like this, do you? But, okay, so the fret ends would probably be nicer on a Gibson, but not that much nicer. And I mean, yeah, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's easily as good as an Epiphone or any other, like, mid-price guitar. Cheap to mid-price guitar. What other thing? So the nut, feeling the nut. Okay, so on the bass side and the treble side, it goes in slightly there. So it's slightly less wide than the fretboard, but I don't think that's really going to matter. Yeah, these tuners are called, what are they? Vintage. I can't even read it. Oh no, Wilkinson. Oh, so they're Wilkinson, apparently Wilkinson Tuners. I've heard complaints about these not being on straight. Okay, they're not dead straight. Okay, if you look, they're not dead straight. So if you look on the top row, the middle one doesn't line up with the one that's closest to me there. Okay, it's offset slightly, but on the bottom they're in line, see? So there's wonkiness on the top row there, and there's non-wonkiness on the bottom row. I mean, you know, it's not really a big deal. Just looking at the headstock here. So if they're seated in properly, they look okay. So they look like they're seated in fairly well. Let's see if it's in tune. No. quite resonant, which is always good in my experience. An electric guitar, pretty resonant sounding. Not plugged in, should probably grab a pick. Got one in here somewhere. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, sounds good. Nice resonant sound. So that bodes well. I've heard these pickups online. They sounded okay. I've got a strong belief that this is not going to be up to the job for me because I play loud through a valve amp with a reasonable amount of gain on it. So in my experience, the Gibson P90, which is in my other SG, Wilkinson SG Junior, wasn't up to task. The Gibson P90 wasn't up to task. It kept feeding back. So I can't imagine this is going to be better than a Gibson P90, Roswell, so their own brand. But it probably do fine for most applications. Bear in mind, this is a very cheap guitar. Okay, this delivered was £152 new, not B stock. The B stock ones are 140 quid, and there's no point buying one of those because if you buy the £140 one, you've got to pay shipping. Whereas if you pay over 150, there's no shipping. So this one works out cheaper. Okay, if you're in the UK. So obviously this is going to be aimed at beginners. Now it's not really because the reason it's so cheap is it's a simple guitar. It's only got one pickup. Okay, it's just a single wraparound bridge. There's no complication here. It's all passive, so there's no. It's just two bits of wood and a bit of hardware. They're cheap. They use cheap hardware. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it isn't. So that one's not up to task. I was planning on replacing that bridge. I've already got one to replace it with anyway, which is a beast of a Schaller bridge from the 80s that you can't buy anymore. And then I'm gonna put a bare knuckle Pig 90 in there. Bare knuckle make these handmade pickups, and they sound amazing. It's like 106 quid for the pickup, and the bridge I've got for this is you can't buy them anymore. But if you find one on eBay, they're about 250 quid. So it's going to have more 350 quid's worth of stuff put on it, and the guitar's only 150. But I don't care because I want to see how close it will sound to my Gibson, which has got exactly the same upgrades, so same pickup and same bridge. So we'll do a shootout. But I'm going to try this one plugged in at home and plugged in at the rehearsal space, and yeah, see what it sounds like. I like the bevels, and they're on the back as well, obviously. I like the body shape. I didn't know how I'd feel about it because normally I like them to be proper correct, but it's nice. It's a 3-ply scratch plate, so it's black, white, black, which is pretty cool. Made it very mucky with my paw prints. It didn't come like this, obviously, but there's no blemishes. There's no scratches. There's just some packing stuff on here. The body's quite thick, look. That's quite thick for an SG. This side, anyway. I mean, again, it's if you have a Gibson SG, they tend to be quite thin. Epiphone SGs can vary lots. This would be on the fatter side of an Epiphone SG, I would say. So it's got a bit of weight. It's got some weight to it. It's got some weight to it. But like the action isn't terrible. You could play this out the box, yeah? It would sound fine, okay? I mean, as you can hear. Yeah, sounds fine. So it's definitely okay for a beginner. This wouldn't put off a beginner. The action isn't that high and the bridge isn't a bigger deal that it would put you off. So for a beginner guitar, 152 quid is a bargain. on the back. Made in Indonesia. Made in Indonesia. It's probably reversed, so you probably can't read it. I don't know what my camera's doing. So overall, okay, good points. It looks great. The cherry finish is nice. It's 2 pieces of a mahogany on this one, as far as I can tell. So a 2-piece body. Mahogany neck, feels nice. Not too fat, not too thin, about right. Just kind of a stand, maybe it's for C shape. The fretboard, oh, I haven't done the checky. Let's see what the truss rod's like. There's a little bit of relief in it, which is what you'd expect. So it's bowing the right way, okay? It's got a bit of a bend in it like this, which is what you want, not like that, because that's when you get dead spots. There's no fret buzz. There's a little bit of fret buzz. No time to die! Sorry. But I mean, there's no more fret buzz than any other new guitar with new strings on it. Sounds good. Cool. All right. Well, this is Goat signing off. Nearly. Screws are all good. Nothing. Sometimes you get screws that are just threaded that just come out. This is all on solid. The neck joint. One more thing to talk about. The neck joint looking really good. Not too much movement in it, which is good. These sometimes here the finish can go white if the glue isn't properly set when they put the necks in, but this is fine. There's no funny mark there. So what I could say is, I think Thomann's quality control it's good for the most part. The action could come down a bit, but again, that's a personal taste. You could perfectly well get away with it like this. The only thing that and the misaligned tuners, you get those on Gibsons. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's tiny stuff that. The only thing that I would say is any kind of a real issue is that bridge like that. Yeah, angled like that. Should be dead straight. So that needs fixing. But again, it's not something that you would want to send it back over. So, 152 quid. I'm well happy. Now, I'm going to try this out and then upgrade it and see how beast I can make it. Take care, internet.